everyone, to the best goddamn birthday podcast in all of America. This is episode 96 of Respawn Aim Fire, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast. I am your host, Chad Michael Innes. We also have Holden DePardo here. I'm not going to let him talk, though, because he's drinking wine. I've had some drinks. We have some other gentlemen here who have joined us. I don't know if they've had drinks or not. If they haven't, I don't care. We've got Mr. Joe Schwartz, who's virtually Tori, Torii, on Twitch. Say hi, Mr. Joe Schwartz.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We've got John Hansen over here. He's from Pixel Street Podcast. Everyone say hi to Mr. John Hansen.
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm really happy to be on this ASMR podcast with you all.
That is a sultry voice. I'm very aroused. Full disclosure, I'm feeling tipsy as fuck because I just went to the Kind of Funny meet and greet, met and greeted everyone. Andrea Renee bought me an extra beer on Greg Miller's dime, and I said yes. And so I'm more tipsy than I intended to be tonight, but it's going to be a great fucking podcast. I want to give you guys an opportunity to plug your stuff at the beginning and the end. So, who would like to go first? You're welcome. Joe, go first.
All right, you guys can find me on Twitch under virtually Tori, that is Torii, and under the same handle on Twitter. I stream all kinds of games, new, old, and things that you probably didn't even know existed.
Name one. Go.
Name
Def
one?
Jam.
Def Jam. Because nobody here knew what Def Jam was, and it's just keeping me up at night, and nobody knows what's going on but me. That's fine.
Awesome. Thank you. John, what do you got?
On Twitter, I am at RevXShadows, and I also write for cultureofgaming.com, and I make some YouTube videos. If you want to look for that, just search RevXShadows on YouTube. Pretty much just cover games, you know?
What's the coolest YouTube video you've made that they should search for in particular?
Oh, nothing really that amazing. I do a lot of news videos. Videos, gameplay stuff. Nothing too amazing, really.
For the record, John asked me to introduce him as unenthusiastically as possible. Which I was not being rude. I was fulfilling his wishes. You guys, we're going to start today with our quest log, talking about some third-party stuff, starting with Hollow Knight. Have you guys played Hollow Knight?
I have not.
I have dabbled.
Ooh, we got a no-go, a dabbler, a finisher, and someone who hasn't finished, Holden DePardo.
That's true. I can't beat the game because it's so good. I don't want to beat it. I want to do everything first and then beat the final boss.
Yeah. I
put 55 hours into it. I've put a lot of time.
Not enough.
Cow.
Not enough. I put maybe 20, but I beat it because I'm great. That was our barf. Well, my barf for December. Holden had to play God of War, and I fucking loved it. But it is getting a sequel, and it looks incredible. And that's not just us talking. That's the headline of the article on Press Start. Hollow Knight Silksong is the sequel and looks incredible. This was officially...
Therefore, it's a fact.
Therefore, it is a fact.
Yeah.
That's how facts work. If it's on Press Start, it's a fact.
Actually, it's just, if it's in any headline is what it is.
Right.
It's true.
Any headline at all.
Well, it has to be
At any
headlines
site.
because we're all millennials and we don't read articles. We just read headlines.
That's right.
The article's not true, but the headline is.
Anything longer than two sentences, I'm out.
Exactly.
Yeah, gross. If it's not in a bullet-pointed list, I don't want anything to do with it.
No.
Yeah.
I get to like TLD, and I'm like, no, I can't finish this.
So this is what was originally going to be DLC for the game, promised by some of the stretch goals from the Kickstarter campaign. And what's actually kind of dope is that if you did kickstart the game, you are getting this for free. It is a full-fledged sequel. It ended up being bigger than what they intended it to be, which is why it's now going to be a sequel. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm so excited. This is a really great surprise because I was expecting DLC. They didn't, in their little tease that week, they didn't say anything about it being anything other than just the DLC. We were expecting Hornet DLC this year.
Right.
And to find out it's a sequel is just, that's so badass. I was always wondering too, like, how's Team Cherry going to follow up Hollow Knight with this?
For the record, this was your game of the year last year, right?
It was. This is
I
my
can
game
never
of the year
remember
last year.
because I was game of God of War, and that's all that matters. So
You're actually right on that.
There's only one true God.
absolutely.
It looks like more of the same of Hollow Knight. It doesn't look too much different, but I'm
Are you
curious
kidding me?
how Hornet's character is going to be.
Did you see Silk's moveset?
That's what I'm talking
It
about.
looks super
Silk's
different.
moves. You mean Hornet's moveset?
Wait, why is it called
Hornet.
Silksong then? What's
I
her?
don't know. We'll find out. I'm saying the move
Because
set
she has a
of
needle,
Hornet
right?
looks
And
different.
she's doing the thread with the needle.
Oh, maybe.
Putting on the Jello, and I'm in jail now.
My point is yes, Hornet is different, but I feel like it's going to be very similar in terms of the structure of the game, which I'm fine with. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But they're making a slight, I'd say, variation, or like an inversion almost is how they put it.
Yep.
Rather than Hollow Knight, you started on the ground and you went below the surface, and the whole time you're just going deeper and deeper and deeper into the deep nest. And in this game, you're going up, you're ascending. So I'm very kind of interested in how they do, how they handle that. So it sounds like it's gonna have a similar structure, just kind of like inverted. But I'm fine with that. Just more Hollow Knight's great. You guys need to play Hollow Knight.
Totes. Yeah, John,
have
do you have
to.
$15?
I do, but I
That's
think
the
I'm
next thing
putting
you're
that
buying.
in
Nope, no
on
excuses.
Undertale.
Oh, that's a good
yes!
choice. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
That's a
We'll
good
get to that
choice.
later with our Nintendo Direct news.
Yes.
But Undertale is dope. Hold on, did you ever finish that?
No, I'm going to though
You
because
stupid
Delta
son of a bitch.
There's so many games I've been playing. I don't have time.
Oh, Undertale is so good. I wish I had 90,000 lives so I could, like in real life, so I could go back and play it again in a different way. But I'm not going to spoil anything else.
All right.
Next, Activision Blizzard cuts hundreds of jobs after record revenue year. What a dichotomy? Is that the right word? Sure.
It's-
Sure, let's go with it. Yeah,
Record
Like,
sales
I say
and also bye-bye
juxtaposition
everyone.
or something. I don't know.
So they laid off 800 non-development jobs. A lot of them were, I don't know whether this is
Is it
official or
PR
whether
and
it's a
stuff
rumor.
like that?
But yeah, PR or overlaps from things they no longer needed from their Destiny split with Bungie. And their reasoning was so that they could, in 2019, be a little bit more focused on some of their other titles like Diablo 4 coming up and some other games that I can't remember. Oh, Call of
Not
Duty.
Diablo 4.
I heard Diablo was mentioned there.
No, so what
You
it
wrote
is with
Call of
Diablo.
Duty, Candy Crush, and Overwatch, but Candy Crush,
That's
No,
the
that's
big
what
one.
Activision said. They're going to invest in their very profitable franchises, Call of Duty, Candy Crush, and Overwatch. But specifically, another concern they have with 2019 is that they're not going to have a game for Blizzard in 2019. So they won't have a Diablo 4. They'll only have the mobile game. So they're basically saying we don't know if we can match the revenue growth that we had before. It's going to flatline. So we need to reduce expenses so that it does flatline and doesn't go down. That's kind of the vibe that I got.
It really shows that they're not because they've got the Warcraft 3 Reforged coming out this year, so they're like really just not
That's
looking at
right.
that as being a big moneymaker from them.
when does World of Warcraft Classic come out?
I think it's already
Yeah,
out,
that's
isn't
how
it?
they're doing
Is it?
that.
I'm
it
not
out
sure.
already?
I
Are
know
you lying to me, John?
I might be.
I invite
thought
you here
Yeah,
on our
I'm
prestigious
gonna
show
just spit in your face, you
in
drunk.
front of hundreds of listeners, and you lie to me?
Yeah.
Oh my God. The audacity.
It's just one of those moves where it's like
That's
it's
sad.
really, really unfortunate that this happens.
it
It's
sucks.
never good. It's weird that I think the weird thing for people is the revenue. There's the record revenue, and they're laying people off.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's
And
what hurts.
That's what hurts. But what it basically is they expected their year to be even better than it was. So even though it was a record-setting year, they expected it to be better. So they go, oh, we actually aren't doing as well as we think we are. We have to cut back in some ways. So though it's still a great year, it wasn't their expectations.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I think
cutting
that's
that payroll
important to
pads the
note.
Stats a little bit there too.
What was that?
I said, and cutting that payroll pads the stats a little bit there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Especially when they
cold.
have to give the bonuses to the executives. You can't pad
Yeah.
that out.
Unions, unions, unions.
Couldn't say it enough.
I don't think unions would help here, actually, because this is something that can happen without a union or a union. It doesn't matter. Like layoffs are going to happen, but it would help with like the union would help people get better severances packages and things like that.
Yeah.
But if they're struggling financially, this is going to make them struggle financially more if they're having to output more money when they have to make decisions like this. So a union wouldn't change this from happening. You would just change the impact on the company.
Right.
One thing that's been going around that I really, really appreciate is the Miyamoto quote about during the Wii U era where he's like, we don't lay people off. because we don't feel like it's good for morale if they feel like their job's in jeopardy.
Yeah.
So even during the Wii U period where they were bombing, they still kept those people on board and just redirected them to other projects. And I feel like that would be such a dope thing for all of these other companies to do as well. Like treat your employees with some respect. And I mean, layoffs got to happen sometimes, but when you're showing record revenue, like
we don't know the behind the scene details, so we don't really even know. We don't know exactly if it's comparable or not. But I think something to consider is that they were getting rid of non-development jobs. They're basically saying we want to invest more in our games, which means we need development resources there. So it's not like they could move someone who does PR to suddenly they're coding. They just not gonna carry over like that. So I think it's totally true. I think Nintendo might have had a different circumstance, possibly. I don't know. We don't know. Or everyone's corrupt and evil behind the scenes too. That's the other possibility.
Well, that was a big thing. Like Satoru Iwata back with that Nintendo thing. Yeah, he actually took a big pay cut to keep all those workers and everything.
Damn it. Was it Iwata, not Miyamoto?
I think it was Iwata.
It was Iwata, yeah.
I lied to you on my podcast.
I know.
Hundreds of listeners.
I know.
How dare you?
And just to make it, I just checked. World of Warcraft Classic comes this summer, so I did lie to you.
You son of a bitch!
I know, gotcha. Shit. The thing is that I can see them cutting a lot of people that had to do with Destiny 2 because I mean, why would you keep all those people there working on whatever? But I also was seeing like things on Twitter, like people. I think I saw like a community manager for Overwatch got let go as well. I'm like, that's like one of their big games that they're talking about growing and everything still. And they're cutting there too. I didn't understand.
They also, I think it was like a month or two ago, announced that they were cutting esports for Overwatch. Like they're no longer doing esports. So I think that might be part of it too.
Yeah, that's an interesting move too. I was kind of thought that was a little bit of a contradiction. Like, wouldn't esports help grow Overwatch, or maybe they're just not seeing that trend happening because other games are overshadowing it? But I feel like it would help grow it.
I wonder,
keep it in the limelight and all that.
I wonder with Overwatch League just starting up again this week, if they're like cutting the outside tournaments and they just want all of that focus on Overwatch League, which is a product that they completely own, and they're putting all the money in there, and it's not going to another company that's putting on these other tournaments.
Yeah, from what I understand, I remember looking into organizing Overwatch tournaments, and they have like an application process, and they had like some kinds of grants and things like that, where they would offer up like small pieces of like prize pool and stuff like that if you went through their grant proposal process and all that jazz. So that might be more like what they're cutting.
You guys, I totally lied. It wasn't Overwatch. It was Heroes of the Storm.
Okay.
Overwatch is safe. Man. Heroes of the Storm is over. God, we are just fucking lying to everyone. It's my birthday. I can do whatever I want.
I haven't said a single lie so far this episode.
There's
Only two
a
people
lie.
There's a lie. All right, so one person so far hasn't said a lie.
Whoever calls out Holden's lie on Twitter gets 4 Haribo gummy bears. They're coming in just loose in a giant cardboard box with a lot of packing peanuts. Let's move on to a segment called Playtime, where we talk about what we've been playing this week. I don't want to talk right now. So, Joe, what have you been playing?
I have been playing a whole lot of Anthem.
What? Are you a PC player?
Yes, I came home.
Gross, that's awesome.
And went ahead and just subscribed to EA's Premier service there. And woke up the next morning to Anthem downloaded on my PC, and I was like, "Hey, thanks, drunk me. That was a great move." So been putting in a whole lot of hours, just kind of floating about. I want to get real acclimatized to it before I start streaming it regularly. But I'm absolutely in love with it. Like, the feel is amazing, the world is gorgeous, and I don't know. I can't imagine anything better right now. It's perfect.
Damn.
It's literally perfect. My girlfriend came out and was like, if you had to pick one game to play for the rest of your life, I was like, honestly, right now, like this is it. This is it.
Damn.
Right now. I'm about to play it on
All
3 platforms. I'm so stoked. I can't even contain myself.
All right.
Where are you coming from in terms? Are you coming more from like a BioWare? You want like the Mass Effect like story stuff, or are you coming more from like an online shooter, like Destiny kind of style game? Like, what do you?
So I'm definitely more of like a loot and shooter. I love putting in like those long hours, just like sending bullets down range, leveling up gear, finding new stuff. And it's just like the adventure and like playing with people and like that camaraderie in the community. Like I love all those aspects of it. I was a huge fan of Mass Effect. The whole Mass Effect series was fantastic. So like the story driven aspects of this are also beautiful. BioWare is executing it greatly.
Good to hear.
I mean, I had high expectations, and so far they've been met. So,
Did you play the demo as well?
yeah, I played the demo. I've been hands on as much as I could.
How does the demo compare for you? Because Chad and I both put the demo together, and we weren't crazy about it. Is it different enough in the real game from the demo, or is the demo a pretty accurate representation of the game, do you think?
I feel like the demo kind of like shrunk everything down to like a bite-sized segment. So like they start you in at level 10, you immediately have access to like crafting stuff and like different blueprints and things like that. But when you're dropped in at level 1, you have literally nothing and just this garbage javelin, and you're building from the ground up. Like I'm sure I put over like 20 hours in already, and like I still can't even like craft blue stuff. Like I just hit like level 11 and I'm still just trying to like figure out what the hell is actually going on. So and I like stuff like that, you know. I want to be able to put in like 60, 90 hours in a game and like still have stuff I need to be doing, which is nice.
What does the from what you've played so far, do you think that the game has legs after the end game? Are people going to be happy with it, or are they going to be like clamoring for content?
We'll see. Honestly, it's still up for debate for me. They have like small alludings to this. I think they're calling it the path to glory. So I'm not really sure what that's gonna look like. I've already got access to like fortresses and things like that. So I might have to get back to you on that one.
All right. What javelins do you have so far?
I am in love with the Interceptor. I like really speedy characters. So I have an Interceptor and I have a Storm Javelin right now.
God, I want to play that Storm so bad, but I didn't have time to play the demo.
It's so badass.
I've watched videos of it, and it's just like all the fucking just bringing a lightning storm down on everyone.
Infinite cosmic power, man. Infinite cosmic power.
I want it.
Yeah.
God, I don't want this game, but I want it.
I want you to want it.
Want you to want me. All right, Joe, have you played anything else?
I also took part. Oh, I've been playing way too much Apex Legends.
Nice.
Oh man, and it's just so smooth. And I love the way that they dropped it. I've got mad respect for Respawn right now. Just absolutely killing it.
How many times have you won?
That is a good question. I'm sure it's like within 10 to 15 wins.
Whoa!
So you're good.
In the presence of greatness.
Right before I hopped on here, I just scooped up a win right before I got in.
Well, we're on opposite sides of the spectrum because I've been playing it as well. I'm just bad at first-person shooters to begin with. I've been playing it for the week, and I have 2 kills.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm really bad at first-person shooters.
You got to start
exactly.
You don't get better until you start shooting people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a real life lesson, too.
That sounded terrible.
I'm getting better now. I've gotten to the point now where I've gotten people down on the ground, but they're not dead yet. They can be recovered. And then I die because I'm not aware of the other people around me because I'm so focused on, oh my God, I got him. I got the guy. Did you see that, everyone? I got the guy. And then I die because I'm too proud of myself. Yep. So that's happened a lot. But that game is too much fun. And I'm surprised because I don't play Battle Royale games that much.
And that's exactly how I felt about it. Battle Royale was never something that I got into, and I dropped in on my first map here, and it's just like the most streamlined Battle Royale experience for sure.
Totally. And I wasn't even really aware of all the inventory stuff it was doing for you until last week when one of our guests explained that to us. And as soon as I knew about it and heard about it, it makes so much sense. It does streamline that so much. You have to think very little about inventory management, which is great thing. Yeah.
I've won 0 games.
Oh, what?
But I've killed someone in 100% of the games I've played, and I got in second place.
So you're better than
the
me,
games
Chad.
that
Is that what you're saying?
I played 1 game. I got killed in second place and said I'll quit while I'm ahead.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, John. Run me through what you've been playing this week.
Mostly Kingdom Hearts 3 still. I was one of those guys that I played the original games when I was a kid. I've been waiting for it the 13 years. Finally came out. I think I got done with the story in like the first 3 days because I got called off from work with snowstorms and everything. I'm like, yes. So I just played nonstop. I think right now I'm about 45 hours in right now, just going through trying the 100% it and everything. And
Holy
it's
shit.
not a perfect game by any means. I mean, it's got terrible writing. The story's super dumb at times, but I mean, I still love it. It's so good.
Man, you're selling me on it.
Yeah. I mean, I literally had this point on my Twitter where like I just changed my name to Selfies with Goofy Are My Life, and like I would just go to every world and just take selfies with Goofy in the background doing his different poses in front of the other characters. It's just little stuff like that just builds up the charm on it. It's so good.
It is no secret that Holden and I haven't really played Kingdom Hearts at all, and we're playing Kingdom Hearts 1 next month for our BARF backlog accomplishment game.
Starting from the bottom. You've got to.
Starting from the bottom.
You've got
but
to.
Man, you're making me not want to play through the end.
One, I definitely recommend it. One, I think it's probably still up there as my favorite in the series, so I definitely recommend it.
Good, because last week somebody said, like, can you skip 1 and go to 2 instead? And we're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that from a few people now.
Yeah.
It's good to hear that 1's good, too.
Someone said to me that it's very mechanically different, 1 to 2.
I wouldn't say different. I would say 2 definitely advances mechanically.
Okay.
Where 1 was, where you see that all the time in games like this, where they had it was a pretty simple system, and then 2 they just added on to it, and then 3 they took elements from the 15 spin-off games that they've had and put it into put all the best stuff in there. So I really think gameplay wise they've done great just moving forward.
Dope. Fantastic. Have you played any other games this week?
Probably not this week, but Celeste I recently beat. That's such a good game. That's
Hell yeah.
So good. But other than that, I mean, I'm just kind of playing whatever on my Switch right now. Smash, Mario Kart. I just can't stick on anything on there right now.
I gotta start playing on my Switch again. I haven't played on it since I moved to Cupertino like 4 weeks ago. But I got assigned by everyone today. Kind of funny. Woo!
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually,
and I have I booted up Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu so that I could get more Meltans in Pokemon Go. So I've done that.
There you go.
I just want to throw on there real quick. Tetris 99, which is the best battle royale yet.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
I'm adding that. I played that too. That was great.
Yeah,
Nice.
As soon as that was announced during the direct, I was so excited. I'm like, oh, that looks awesome, and it is great.
There's Holden's first lie. He put in the show notes that he hadn't played Tetris 99, but he actually did. So, boom.
Guilty.
Well, you talked about Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 being mechanically different, but you know what's not mechanically different? The mechanic in most Final Fantasy games, because it's almost always Sid, and there are more than 2, but I played Bioshock 2 this week. Boom! Logical transition there.
Wow.
That was impressive.
Bioshock 2 is our barf game for this month. There are actually quite a few people playing along with us. I wanted to mention, we haven't actually said this in a while, but the idea of barf, backlog accomplishment with Respawn and Friends, is that if you guys want to play along with us and send us your thoughts, like we'll discuss them on our barf episode, which is February 28th this month. So as you're playing along with us, let us know what you think of it, whether you loved it, whether you hated it, your favorite parts, whatever. Write in, DM us, email us, send me a pigeon. And I also played the Resident Evil 2 Ghost Stories, which I kind of shadow dropped. Like they were like, it's coming soon, and then they're like, oh, surprise, it's out. You know what these are?
Is that the add-on that everyone was talking about?
Yeah, it's the 3 Ghost Survivors episodes where they go through 3 different characters in that same Resident Evil 2 world and kind of give you a quick 10 to 15 minute episode with each of them. There are actually technically 4. There's a 4th one that unlocks after you beat the first 3. And they are all they're pretty much just challenge runs of certain areas of the game. Each one introduces a new type of enemy. Have you guys played Resident Evil 2?
I have not.
I have not had the chance yet.
Shame.
I'm not
shame.
good with
so
horror
far.
games.
It's awesome.
Shame. It's
Oh yeah, you
so
shouldn't. It's
good.
really scary.
Yeah.
It is very, very
It's
scary.
very scary.
So yeah, they're basically challenge runs of different aspects of the game. Like one takes you through the sewers, one takes you to the jail, one takes you through. One of them is just the gas station. So they're more like figure out a cool way to save all your ammo, but also make it through this horde of enemies on your way from point A to point B. Very, very, very light on story, which is unfortunate because that's what I was really excited about. Because there are some characters that like you tangentially see in the thing that I'm like, man, I can't wait to see what happened to him after we ran into him in the game.
Right.
And in fact, you basically just get 2 paragraphs of text as you start it, and then like a 4-second long outro comic strip.
Oh,
Which for the first story it needed more than that.
Oh yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
first story, the context of the first story is it's dark, just warning you. Father, daughter bitten, about to go, and I guess the dad has to shoot her? Or is that
your typical zombie stuff. Yeah.
It's
Daughter's
dark.
infected,
It's
he's
still
facing
dark. I
a
don't like
decision.
saying it. I
Still
don't like
dark.
children getting shot. It's horrible. But not children getting shot. It's not horrible. Not that. But they only give you like a little like motion comic basically that's 30 seconds long to like make you feel for that situation before it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
It's just they could have just dropped the story elements out of it completely, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things I liked. They introduced a different type of enemy into every single one. There's in that one where you're dealing with you and the daughter, they introduced one with like a poisonous something. Like you shoot it, as soon as you kill the enemy, a big purple gas cloud comes out and it can poison you. There's whiteheads, which are kind of these really freaky Guillermo del Toro looking ones that you have to use really heavy ammo to take down, which are kind of cool. And then there are ones with backpacks. Anyway, like that aspect of it.
Wait, backpacks? There are
Yeah.
enemies that are backpacks or
Enemies
bags?
with backpacks. So as you kill them,
enemies with backpacks. I think
Yeah.
like the backpack is the enemy.
the
I was kinda confused.
backpack. Dora the Explorer's backpack comes to life and sucks your face off.
it's actually just zombified Dora going through the halls of the police station.
Yes.
That is the most horrifying mental image I have ever received.
Vamos!
Yeah, who needs a tyrant? You just got
Oh shit! I'd play that game.
I ship
That's
this. I ship this.
that was
Someone
amazing.
send this to Capcom. This needs to happen.
Or just a PC mod where the tyrant is replaced by Dora just chasing you around.
Yes.
Yes, that would be great.
So I like that. I do like the backpacks are like they have little item drops. Sometimes it's new weapons. Sometimes it's ammo. Sometimes it's herbs. And then they have little like gumball machines that make you kind of think. They have 3 items in the gumball machines at all times, but you're only allowed to choose one to take with you. So sometimes it's like an herb or great ammo or a new gun. That's pretty dope. All in all, though, I was kind of disappointed because I'm not really one that's there for the challenge of RE2. I was more there for the scares and the story. So I actually just put them all on training mode and just blew through them pretty quickly. So kind of disappointed
No
by
shame.
him.
No shame in that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is a free add-on, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely free. If you own it, it's already been updated on your system and you're good to go.
Alright.
Holden, what did you play
Well, I played a little bit of Link's Awakening DX. We can talk
on your
about that.
Game Boy?
On my 3DS. We'll get to that in a little bit, though, because
Oh, you're
I
part of the
feel like we'll
Ambassador
talk
program,
about that
right?
again.
How did you get that?
What? Link's Awakening?
Yeah. Is it just on
You
the
can just
eShop
get
or is
virtual,
it the Ambassador
virtual console,
program?
yeah.
Okay.
What?
But then I played Reverie, which is a game I was very much looking forward to. It was only out for console on PlayStation. But it came to Switch this year. I was waiting for it to come to Switch. Basically, what it is it's a Link to the Past recreation. It's a Zelda game. But it has the aesthetic of Earthbound. And it kind of feels like Earthbound. Yeah. So you're a little kid walking across this island with a backwards hat on, like very, very Earthbound. It does not, however, live up to either of those game franchises, unfortunately. It has...
Ness's hat, I think, is forwards.
Was that?
Ness's hat is forwards in Earthbound.
No? Maybe?
No?
I don't know.
Ness?
Now I have to look this up.
Let's look it up.
Anyway, so there are... It's about a...
It's
only took me 5 hours to beat
sideways.
it.
It's sideways. Well, more towards the front sideways than back sideways.
Oh, the hat backwards.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, I just meant like he
Yeah.
has a hat on. Like that was kind of the point. He's very reminiscent of Ness, even though it's not exactly like him.
Gotcha.
It's only about a 5-hour game. There are 5 dungeons in the game, but like a sixth dungeon. And the third dungeon's about the only one that's worth trying out. It had a cool mechanic where the rooms would shift around and that would open up certain pathways for you to go through. And that was fun. But the last dungeon is the most infuriating. Just I was pulling my hair out the entire time.
Yeah, I could tell you have some patches.
It's really big, and it takes a lot longer to get around, but it's also just super precise. They have this really cool item. You know, any of you guys play Link to the Past at all?
No. Yeah, I did.
Okay. I know you played it, Chad.
I hate it.
We played it last month together. There's that item that lets you put down a block, so you can like move that on top of switches and things like that.
Yeah.
They have that, but it's a pet rock instead. It's really kind of cute and hysterical. But you can also like whack it to like have it fly across the room. So there's some cool like puzzle mechanics there. But what they start doing in the last dungeon is you have to place one of those pet rocks very precisely next to a laser or two lasers and line it up so that both lasers are blocked by it. And you have to be so precise with where you put it. And if you don't, you get damaged. It's aggravating. It is so aggravating. It's one of the worst dungeons I think I've ever played in a Zelda style game before. It was so annoying. I thought about stopping the game.
Do you have a mirror shield to reflect the lasers though?
No, there's no mirror shield in the game.
Fuck that game.
I know. But the items are clever. The pet rock was actually really clever, how that was used in combat as well. Just it's the idea of putting the block down, but also like hitting your sword to whack it in different directions, or having to go far away and shoot your dart at it so you can push it away that way. Like they had some cool multiple uses for one item, which I liked a lot, but the dungeons were just not strong enough, minus that one. And that's kind of the big letdown, I think. The writing also isn't super solid. All the characters seem to talk exactly the same. Which is part of the fun of those games is the personality.
I remember reading somewhere that the storyline for Reverie isn't it like the same storyline from that Disney movie? What's the Moana?
Frozen.
Oh, Moana.
Yeah.
Man, Moana's
isn't it
dope.
about Maui, the guy with the fish hook? It's about The Rock. So basically, this game is about
it is about Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Yes, that's what Reverie is about.
Is the song How Far I'll Go in it? Because I will play that game right now.
I played that game 10
See the line with the sky is the sea. It calls me.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen Moana before, but I have heard that comparison as well. Are you surprised, Chad?
I need you to shut up and go watch it right now.
Go watch Moana. Sign into my Apple ID
Everyone
on your Apple
cusses off
TV.
right now.
Yeah.
It's a musical. I don't watch musicals.
Holden. Oh my
It's got singing and
god.
dancing. I don't want to see the singing and dancing. No, honestly, one of the reasons I don't watch it, they play it at my work on the TVs all the time. So
you have
constantly
seen it.
around that movie. I've seen scenes of it, but I've never like sat down and be like, I'm going to watch Moana.
Have you
But it's
watched
around all the time.
How Far
I don't
I'll
want
Go?
Or you're welcome.
You're welcome.
I do like that song. I will say I do like that song.
It's probably why
very
you
fun.
liked Reverie, though. It's like you've absorbed all this information and osmotically.
Why does the story feel so familiar and nostalgic?
Oh my god. That movie's
I feel like
good.
a Disney princess.
I mean, the story honestly isn't strong enough in there for it to be like, oh, this is a ripoff of Moana. Clearly, there's no way that there's enough story in this game to be a ripoff of anything.
Is Moana in Kingdom Hearts 3?
No, she's not.
God
Yeah.
damn
I'm not playing it. I'm not playing
No.
it. That's it. I'm done.
Nope.
They have to make Kingdom Hearts 4, you guys.
They do.
They do have to. Are there any Star Wars characters in Kingdom Hearts
No,
3?
I was actually very happy to see that
God.
there wasn't. It just wouldn't fit in my mind.
Fair. Yeah. Reasonable.
Apparently, even the Final Fantasy characters aren't in it much.
No, there is. So, especially in 1 and 2, they play a big part. They're like huge side characters. You got Leon, Sid, Yuffie, all of them. Yeah, they make no reference to them whatsoever in the game, even though there will be cutscenes taking place in the same town that they live in. And they just don't mention them. Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe they just didn't get the rights to it, but it's fucking Square.
Yeah.
Enix, so
Yeah.
Their games.
yeah,
That's cold.
Right?
The Final Fantasy department is like just really not wanting to
it's
work
like,
with the
listen,
Kingdom Hearts
your
department.
game is getting so much shit trash press right now. We don't want to have anything to do with it.
They were
Keep
too
us
focused
out of
on
it.
their pocket edition of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Final Fantasy 16 speculation.
Ooh.
You heard it here first, folks.
What if one day
See
you
it
go
in
in the App
15
Store?
years.
No. You go in the App Store, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition. They just changed the name to 16. Like, it was here the whole time. Oh, man. We're going to transition now into fetch quests, which are the quests that just are worth a headline, and that's about it. Moving to, we talked about Apex Legends a bit, and it is now cleared. This is kind of old news, but first time we're talking about it. Apex Legends has now cleared 25 million players. $1 million in total, with over 2 million concurrent at peak. This comes from DualShockers. What a dope accomplishment they've made.
Oh, yeah.
2 million people playing it at once. And it
That's
totally
insane.
shadow dropped. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love that term, shadow drop. People should do that more often so we can say it more often.
Yes.
Like, they should like shadow drop like a Breath of the Wild sequel this year or something. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I want
like
someone
that.
to be like when Anthem drops next week, like, hey, Anthem's canceled. And then on the 22nd, just kidding. We'll shadow drop it. You thought it was canceled.
We shadow canceled it.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what game absolutely should be shadow dropped?
What?
Half-Life 3. If it does exist and it's real, that game needs to
Oh
be shadow
my
dropped.
God.
Yeah.
That would change the internet in a day.
Yeah.
Like, just suddenly Half-Life 3 exists.
Yep.
How many
Boom.
people would just quit their jobs, though, is the real question.
I honestly bet that'd be like a
Six.
A lot of
system,
no
like,
calls, no shows.
Grinding, huh? Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. There'll be like stats like, you know what game came out and Pornhub was like, oh yeah, our stats dropped when that
Was
game
it
came
Fallout?
out.
I think it was Fallout 4.
No.
Maybe it was Fallout 4, yeah, something like that. There's some game where it came out where it's like their stats dropped when that game came out that weekend or something like that.
Clearly Apex Legends, I mean.
Oh, the next thing I want to mention, just because it makes me so angry. Spider-Man PS4 Platinum Trophy Achievers rewarded with free avatar. I'm going to read this quote from Press Start. Did you get the Platinum Trophy in Marvel Spider-Man at all? If so, then you may want to check your inbox for a free avatar, as Sony's seemingly sending out complimentary profile pictures to anyone who obtained 100% in Insomniac Games' open-world superhero smash hit. It's unclear which regions are being rewarded with the gift, but we got one in the UK, and we've seen New Zealand mentioned as well. The platform holder often hands out rewards to those who 100% complete first-party games. It's been sent out for those who finished God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Bloodborne in the past. These other freaking countries who aren't America getting all this dope shit for these platinum trophies. I've earned all 4 of those platinum trophies, and I don't have anything to show for it.
That's
Oh,
cool.
I don't have an avatar. I
Spider-Man
don't
is
theme.
American.
Yeah. Insomniac
What
Games
the
is
hell
too.
is going on?
It's just rude.
Yeah.
That's so fucking rude. What does the UK got? New Zealand. Nobody even knows where you are, New Zealand. Get out of here.
Reverie takes place in New Zealand, or
No, Reverie takes place in Moana. Next up, we're going to talk about our sponsorships. But we aren't sponsored because we're a baby podcast. We sponsor you via the participation trophy. It always says award in these notes, but I always say trophy, and I'm making the executive decision that we're changing it to trophy in the notes as well. Participation trophy. How can you earn this? Oh my God, Holden, thanks for asking. John, you know how, right? Yes, absolutely. Interact with us on Twitter. Whether it's by retweeting something, dropping us anything more than a like, sending us a subscriber interrogative, thanks to Ryan for another one coming up shortly. Another way you can participate is hashtag thanks for creating, which is a way that we pay thanks to anyone in the video game industry for making some cool shit. This week, your job is to reach out and thank a developer of a game that you think is underrated. It could be like a game that like gets some pretty good press, but you think is actually exceptional. Or it could be a game that everyone shit on, but you're like, hey, this is dope, and you guys deserve someone telling you it's good. So thank a developer who you think is underrated, but you can also refer us to a friend. So if Ridley Scott reaches out to us and be like, oh my God, you guys, Mr. Joe Schwartz told us that you guys had a really awesome podcast. I'm like, Ridley Scott, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much. You guys both get an entry to the participation award. And you can also rate us on the podcast service of your choice, and that will count towards it as well. And at the end of the month, we will pick one person to win $20 to the gaming service of your choice, as long as it's not Steam. Just kidding, it can be Steam. Finally, Ryan subscriber interrogatives. Thank you, Ryan, once again for coming through. We've named this segment after him because he's so great at this and always provides us a subscriber interrogative, which is a fun way to say listener question. He says, okay, so maybe a late edition, but couldn't think of a question. So here's one so I don't have to let my fans down. Favorite color and why? Follow-up, make it favorite color in a video game to keep it relevant. So, gentlemen, what is your favorite color and why? And what is your favorite color in a video game?
In a video game.
Yep.
That's man, that narrows the field a little bit for me. I'm thinking Oddworld Puke Green.
Ooh.
Is gonna be probably my favorite video game color for sure.
All right.
Very good. Very good. I'm gonna say the purple from what the fuck is the game? Infamous First Light. The purple of fetches like powers for speedrunning powers, like that neon purple color.
That's good purple.
Dope. Yeah, it's
really
a good purple.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that. What is it? Sepia. That green tint from the Game Boy, the original Game Boy.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. All my nostalgia feels.
Right.
That's hot. I'm very aroused.
Mine's a Game Boy as well. It's the midnight purple, I think is what it's called. Not the see-through purple, but the
That's
pure
atomic
purple.
Yeah, midnight purple. That's
the midnight
that's
purple.
the solid one.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that one a lot. But I have a close second. And that's Zelda. Oh my god, that was a horrible thing. I just said it. Link, not Zelda. Link's blue. I know. Oof, right?
I'm out of here.
Oh, don't worry. I'm more mad at myself than any of you guys are at me. The blue tunic that Link wears in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, that's a
That
good
was
one.
great.
That's a good blue.
That is a good blue.
Side note, I meant to bring this up on our barf discussion for Link to the Past. What's with Link's pink hair in that game, and why have we never seen pink hair before? Again.
Crap. I remember reading an explanation on that. Crap, I can't remember what it was now.
Are you coming back on the show to lie to us again?
Give me a second. I'll think of it.
Actually,
that's the most honest thing you can say.
Link
I
was
think I
chewing
heard
some bubble
something.
gum
I don't know what it is yet. That's so honest. That's not a lie. A lie would be like, it's pink because it was Shigeru Miyamoto's favorite color at the time, and he wanted his hair to be pink. That'd be a lie. Or is it a fact? You don't know.
You're a fact.
Is that what it is, John? Is that what it is? Was it Shigeru Miyamoto's favorite color in 1991?
No.
The first Google ping says that it has to do with like palette issues for the console. They couldn't quite get it the right shade of brown.
So
Link is a close second.
They said, you know what? Fuck it, we're going pink.
Apparently, having brown hair in this game blended in too much with any brown backgrounds, so they made it pink to stand out more.
So,
there you go.
well, I mean, the original Super Mario Brothers game, Mario's mustache is green to make it stand out. So
that's gross,
right?
You heard it here first, folks. Pink hair for utility reasons.
Yeah, that's hot.
But the alternative is us going, why does Link hair blend in with everything?
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
You know what would make Breath of the Wild better?
On his face.
Pink hair.
Pink hair, exactly. Yes. Actually, that's why they gave him the blue tunic, is because the green tunic didn't just blended in with the green grass too much in Breath of the Wild. That's why he has a blue tunic.
All right.
So it's a very similar story, actually.
Oh.
Hot takes.
Moving on to our main quest, Trogdor! Burninating the countryside.
Oh my god, I haven't heard Trogdor forever.
Trogdor! Holden, we had a Nintendo Direct this week, and because I know you love putting your wiener on your Nintendo Switch, walk us through what they announced.
They had a lot of good announcements, actually. It was pretty good. I'm just going to run through.
It was a good-ass Direct.
It was. I'm just going to run through some of the big announcements. Super Mario Maker 2 coming June 2019. That was a surprise. I expected just a port.
What a good trailer for that game, too.
Yeah.
It was just like, they were just like, oh, by the way, we're not going to put any words in it, but remember all the things about the first one you didn't like? Hey, we've got slopes now. We've got vehicles. We've got fucking you in the Bowser Jr. clown car shooting fireballs at shit. We've got the cat suit.
Multiplayer, maybe? Who knows?
Maybe two-player?
If they don't have multiplayer,
Luigi pop in there at the end?
Two Joy-Cons?
Mm-hmm. HD Rumble?
Yeah.
I'm going to run through the rest of these really quick,
so
we can kind of go back and talk about which ones we want to talk about.
Okay.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 3.0 update was announced, coming out in March, I believe they said. March?
I thought you said you were going to run back
ends.
and then we were going to talk.
Before April ends, okay. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker DLC. Link's Awakening 2019. Oh my god. Tetris 99. We already talked about that. Assassin's Creed 3 remaster. Fire Emblem 3 Houses has official release date for July 26th, 2019. Hellblade's coming to Switch.
What?
Deltarune. So if you guys like Undertale, and if you like Undertale, John, you'll be able to play it as well. Yoshi's Crafted World demo is already out now, and then Final Fantasy 7 and 9 are coming
9
to
is
Switch.
out now. 7
9 is out now. Yeah. So that's a lot. Would you
We're gonna
guys
save the Smash Bros 3.0 update for a segment in the very near future?
and like basically within this episode?
Shut up! I said very near future. That counts. John, what was your favorite thing about that whole thing?
And it's a tie between Link's Awakening and Super Mario Maker 2. I never had a Wii U, so I never got the chance to play Mario Maker 1. But I always watch videos and I'm like, this is so cool. And I'm not a creative person, so I will never make my own maps or anything. I just love the whole aspect of going to other people's maps and playing through them. Looks like a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And I mean, freaking Legend of Zelda. You could just give me any Legend of Zelda game aside from the Philips CDI ones, and I would play it again. So...
2019 Wand of Gamelon coming to Switch.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. Get out. Did you ever play Link's Awakening before?
I played it on the Game Boy Color. I don't think I ever finished it. But
it's a hard Zelda game.
Yeah.
John, what was your favorite part of the announcement? That's you. Sorry. Joe, what was your favorite? See, I knew I would do it.
Yeah, you called it. Assassin's Creed 3 has got me so excited. It was hands down my favorite Assassin's Creed, which I've come to realize lately that is not a very popular opinion.
It is
not.
Yeah.
It is not.
No.
I mean, America, man. All right? And I learned that Paul Revere was a douchebag, and I learned that General Washington cannot be trusted, okay? And I can hang people
But he's a
from
founding
trees.
father. What?
It was a great time, and to see, I just really love just seeing these things like Assassin's Creed 3. Hellblade also has me really excited. Like seeing these full-scale AAA titles being shrunk down to pocket size so I can play them when I can't play anything else. It gets me very, very excited.
Especially Hellblade. That trailer they kept showing, I'm like, does this look that much different than the PS4 version?
It looked
It really doesn't. I was like, holy cow, man. I hope they don't start exploding in people's pockets like Samsung did for a while. You know, it's like, I just left Hellblade idling, and then I came back and my car was on fire, so I don't know what happens.
Don't worry. This time it'll just be in front of your face because you'll be playing it.
That's
yes.
true.
There you go.
No, what'll happen is a
Instant
safety
makeover.
mechanism. When it starts to like burn up, this Joy-Cons just release and the Switch drops to the floor, so it's not in your hands anymore.
Oh, there you go.
Safety eject. Safety eject. I like that.
One thing to note.
I'll be honest. Assassin's Creed 3, I saw it. I'm like, oh, great. This is going to be so cool to play on Switch. It looked like it ran kind of crappy in the trailer.
It did.
Yeah.
It did look a little turned down, but you know, we'll see.
It does also come with Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, which is the PS Vita game that then got remastered for PS4. So that's kind of cool. That comes free in the box with Assassin's Creed 3.
That's nice. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it. The first time I played Assassin's Creed 3, I was playing it on a laptop that sounded like a helicopter when you turned it on. So I imagine the experience can't be that much worse.
I am super pumped, obviously, for Deltarune because Undertale is so freaking great. I want to get back to Captain Toad. I'm about halfway through it, but I think it's so cool that they're supporting that game this far out. Like, they're adding multiplayer to it. They are adding new levels. They're adding challenges to previous levels. That's a game that didn't get a whole lot of attention when it did come out on Switch. I do kind of think, like, if you bought it on 3DS when they released it at the same time, you're kind of getting shafted a bit because none of that's coming to the 3DS.
Yeah.
But
we'll talk about that.
3DS is dead. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Hellblade. I just want so many people to play that game. If you plan on playing that game, do it with headphones. It's very important you play that game with headphones.
Have you ever played Hellblade before?
Oh,
Any
yeah.
of you? Yeah? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've
got that plat.
I've got it on Game Pass, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I'm very excited to play it.
Oh, it's so fucking
I'll say this.
good.
Chad loved it so much that he literally bought it for me and said, you're playing this.
All right.
And I started playing it at first. I'm like, all right.
Not how much you sucked at it.
Yeah, I was really bad. Like at first, I'm just like, oh my god, like I just don't get it. This is not that great. I don't understand. and then you power through it, and it gets fucking amazing.
I think what was most important is
I
that
think
you
it
didn't
gets
know
better
you
and
could
better as it
run.
goes along. What?
There was a part where you kept dying in the fire because you didn't realize there was a run button.
Yeah. It
So,
didn't teach
John,
you
there's
the
a
mechanics
run
very
button.
well. That was one thing I will say about the game. I don't think it taught you the mechanics that well, but that was maybe I just missed something. That's also
But it's so
possible.
good.
I
Easy
love
platinum.
games like that. I don't want a game to hold my hand. You know,
It
My
wasn't
little
a hold
brother
hand,
said
but, like,
something about that. And
In
it
this
hurt my feelings.
context, though, if you don't run, you die. That's
Right.
it.
Mhm.
And it's not like it's like, what did I do wrong? I have no idea what I did wrong. So I totally agree with you. I love like Dark Souls and Bloodborne and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was not like that. That was a poor game design moment.
Sure.
But the
It's
rest
gotta
of the
get
game is
good.
fantastic.
I think one of my favorite things about Hellblade, not to dwell on it too much, but just the scope of it was huge. And like, I'm pretty sure like the size of the studio was only like 20 devs or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was a
It was a
super
small
small team that put it
Mhm.
together. And dude, I mean, it's art.
Yeah.
It's art.
And the woman
it
who
is,
played Senua was not even an actress.
Yeah.
And she won the Game Award for Best Actress, and
Yeah.
she was incredible. She was just like another like person who does video work there at the studio. And they just use her as a placeholder, and they're like, actually, you're just really fucking great.
I do really wonder just how much that that team has grown since Microsoft bought them last year, though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like it. They've probably been working on this port to the Switch for a while now, but you got to figure since Microsoft bought them, they brought in more people, and that might have actually sped up
Sure.
the port coming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to assume that they've been working on this before Microsoft bought them. Otherwise, I'm not sure they would have released it on Switch.
Yeah.
Joe.
My biggest and favorite announcement of the Direct, to no surprise, is Link's Awakening. That was my number
Oh, yeah.
one.
I forgot
Sure.
to ask your opinion on
Oh,
it.
yeah.
No, honestly, when the anime trailer opens up and it's just the waves, instantly I'm like, it's Link's Awakening. That's it. It's Link's Awakening right now. And then they show the boat, and I'm like, yeah, that's definitely Link's Awakening. And they show the title screen, and I'm like, absolutely, it's Link's Awakening. And then
I know
they show
English.
the gameplay, and I love this art style so
Dude,
much.
it's so dope.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It just looks like little toys. You're just playing with little toys. It's so awesome. It has so much charm. I can't wait to play this game. Super pumped. Question for you guys, though. It's listed at $60. Do you think it is a $60 game? I
Yeah.
don't think so.
I do.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially if
I
they
think it
just
should be
charge
40.
60 for New Super Mario Brothers U. This is 60.
But they charge 40 for Captain Toad, and Captain Toad is a small experience game. And I would consider, if they're just porting it over, no differences, it's a small experience game.
Well, they have to make differences because you're going from the square format of the Game Boy to now a widescreen format of the Switch,
I'm
which is
talking.
going to change the gameplay a lot.
I don't think it's going to change the gameplay that much. It's not going to change the dungeons and the order of the dungeons you do, what types
Well, no.
of like mechanics, that
But
kind of
they've
stuff.
got to remake this game. They can't just.
Sure, yeah, but there's
insert
a
new
lot
sprites
that's
for
already
everything and-
there that they're not having to invest in. There is something that was interesting where they showed, I can't remember what, I think it was on like Nintendo's website. It says multiplayer to be determined,
What does that
which
mean?
is yeah, exactly. Should be pretty blatant. No multiplayer. It's Link's Awakening, unless they're adding some stuff that we haven't seen yet.
Oh, they
I hope
probably
so.
are.
So
Link
maybe
in the
there is
grass.
some more that we don't know about this game. That's what's going to justify that $60 price point. Because I actually don't.
That'd be
I've been.
interesting.
Well, think of it this way: Breath of the Wild was $60. Is this equivalent
Right.
to that?
But I don't think you can compare this to Breath of the Wild. I think more you have to.
Absolutely, you can. It's the Legend of Zelda to the Legend of Zelda.
But hold on. But what you were saying before, you were comparing it to Captain Toad as just a port and everything. You got Captain Toad
I was
way
comparing
down
it because
here.
it's a small experience, not because it's a port.
Legend of Zelda is like way up here in just how important it is to Nintendo. They're gonna just get as much as they can out of that.
But handheld Zelda games have gone for $40 forever.
But that's
and
on
Mario Super. That was on handheld, yes. But this is a handheld Zelda game being ported over. The difference
but they don't
with
have
New
to
Super
make
Mario
garbage
Bros.
looking
U
sprites. They
Deluxe
have
is
to
that
make
was
HD
a.
sprites.
Let me finish my thought. The
No,
difference
I'm
with
not
New
gonna
Super
let you
Mario
finish
Bros.
anything.
Deluxe was that it is a console version of that game. There are not console versions of 2D Zelda games in the same way. They can get away with $60 because it's Zelda. I'm going to pay it anyway. Like, I don't care
same.
what it costs. It can be $100. I'll still pay for it. But it is. I think they might add some more to this. I don't think it's going to be a direct.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Because $60 you can't. They're still both Breath of the Wild games. I mean, sort of Zelda games. Breath of the Wild took way more resources to make. Obviously, it'll still sell more as well. I don't think Link's Awakening will sell nearly as well, but they could get away with a $40 price point. I think. They've done it on
Also-
Switch before for smaller games already. So I think it's plausible, but obviously not the case because it's already $60 online. So they're adding something to it, is my point.
Oh yeah.
Well,
for sure.
also these retailers
Yeah.
probably just listed a $60 price point as well, just in case.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they charge you $40 and then it turns out, oh wait, it is $60, they're not gonna make. Oh, by the way, can we have another extra $20?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
If they charge you 60 and it turns out to be 40, they can be like, cool, hey, we dropped the price.
Yeah. But when I think of Nintendo, I mean, I can't think of any console Zelda game that was less than $60. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I can't even think of any Mario console game that would be less than 60. But going back to what you said about them adding stuff, that is one thing about Nintendo with their remakes and their ports. They do add much more to the game than you originally saw. A big portion of that will probably be the controls and everything, so you're not constantly going into the menu and everything to switch out your weapons. But like you said, you brought up the multiplayer. I could see it just be like almost kind of like a Pokemon Let's Go thing where you have two Joy-Cons and just another Link in a different tunic drops in and plays with you.
And that's exactly where my thought went too. And I'm curious how they handle this because different color tunics means something in terms of your defense in Link's Awakening. So if you have a Link on screen that is a blue tunic and a green tunic, technically again, it means different things in terms of how much damage
brown
you can
hair?
take. Pink, brown hair.
Yep.
So either they're going to change how that works, because I think it makes so much sense to have two Links on screen with different color tunics. So I'm curious how they handle that, because it wouldn't line up with the game that well, unless they make changes, which obviously they're going to.
Yeah, for sure. Regardless, I'm super excited for it.
Oh my god, yeah. Can't wait.
Yup.
Can't wait. I'm going to play the original Link's Awakening this year before it comes out, just so I can do the comparison and how much different are they?
A poorly constructed English sentence in here that says, why no Pokemon?
Yeah, why no
would you like
Pokemon?
to dive into that?
Yeah, so I think myself included, I think many people were expecting something Pokemon related, because this is kind of that time of year where a new generation of Pokemon's coming out. They'll just show off the title or something like that. But they didn't. At least, exactly. But they didn't. And people are pointing to a Pokemon Day at the end of the month, the 27th, and there's some treehouse events that are scheduled to be there. So people are speculating that means there's going to be 8th generation Pokemon game shown off at Pokemon Day. I did a little looking back into what Pokemon Day, what kind of announcements are usually held there, and they almost never talk about the games, like in terms of like new generations, like games. For example, when they announced Sun and Moon, the new generation of Pokemon, 7th generation, the last generation, they announced that game the day before Pokemon Day. They didn't just wait for Pokemon Day to show it off. Pokemon Day seems to be talking about like Pokemon movies or like merchandise or like Pokemon Go. Like they'll talk about that kind of stuff there. So, and the other part too, I was trying to find out as well, has Treehouse been at Pokemon Day before? And I actually don't have a great answer on that. I could not find any article online anywhere that says Treehouse is coming to like Pokemon Day this year as well. But I do recall that there was something similar last year where I was anticipating Let's Go Pikachu information at a direct. They didn't announce the direct, but they had a Pokemon Day set up, and there were already not Treehouse events, but like YouTube live streams set up for Pokemon Day on the YouTube channel. So I don't remember if that was a Treehouse thing or if that was something else. But it seems like this is the first time Treehouse is going to be at Pokemon Day. So maybe, but this is also the first year we're getting a live-action Pokemon movie that they might want to show off. And Treehouse isn't just for game content. Even at E3, it can be used to show off merchandise as well. So I don't know. I don't think it means it's going to be there, but it would make sense. They can start talking about it.
Also been a 3D CGI Mewtwo Strikes Back remake going around as well. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
I could really see I don't personally think that the new Pokemon's going to be at Pokemon Day. If anything video game related is there, it could be just like a little add-on for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I really think that Pokemon is going to be their big thing for E3 this year. I'm sure they're going to show it off before then. They'll probably have a direct in like April or May, and we might get a short trailer or something, but I wouldn't expect to see anything like too big. It just might be a short trailer showing off the world or something. But I couldn't see them just skipping this direct just to do Pokemon Day, because like you said, it hasn't been a big video game thing. This direct was really a lot of surprises. We didn't see anything from Pokemon, Animal Crossing, or Luigi's Mansion, which we all know are supposed to come this year. It was just a bunch of stuff we didn't really know about, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Also, Pokemon is not, forgive me if I'm getting this wrong, Pokemon has not generally been revealed, like a new generation revealed during a direct.
Correct.
Among other things.
You mean on
Pokemon its
Day?
Own announcement, right?
It has its own announcement usually,
But
they usually tier.
Oh, by the way, we get 8th gen Pokemon this year.
Pokemon, the Pokemon Company generally releases information, or they trickle information throughout the year. So they start off with, here's the title. Then they'll go to like, here are the 3 starters, and then here's some more Pokemon, and then they'll show gameplay. They just trickle it out slowly.
Yeah.
But it always starts with just a title announcement. Pure title announcement for the most part. Sun and Moon broke that. I think, actually, no, they didn't. We knew it was called Sun and Moon, I think, before. No, we didn't. They announced it all at once in that case. But I don't know. I'm dabbling with, this is a big generation for Pokemon. It's different. It's the first time on console. It's the first time on Switch. Maybe they'll just mention the title. I don't know. But like, it's not common. But the Treehouse things is what's tripping me up. I just don't know if that's new or not. I don't know. But I mostly agree with you, John. It's most likely not going to show anything at Pokemon Day. Yeah.
I'd agree on that.
Holden, do you want to run through this quick Mario Luigi thing you threw in there?
Yeah, so Mario and Luigi's, this is a horrible title, Mario and Luigi's Bowser Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey has not been selling super great. Since it launched on January 11th, it sold 20,000 units.
Surprise!
Which is really, really bad for a Mario game. I don't think this is a sign that Mario games are bad. I think it's a sign that people aren't buying 3DS games because they want to buy games on Switch.
What a surprise.
What a surprise.
Yay!
So people saying 3DS is still going to be the handheld, they'll have a dedicated handheld. Like, no, they're not. They're just going to have a handheld version of Switch. And I think this is a great indicator that that's probably where Nintendo wants to go. Because why would...
Celebrate good
it'd be easier for them to support one family of consoles as opposed to a handheld and a home console. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Dope. You guys, we're going to move on to a segment we call We Are So Fucking Humble, because Holden and I are so fucking humble as guests, as hosts, that we're going to pass the crown of royalty to you, the guests, to talk about a topic of your choice.
Burn it down. Burn it down.
We're going to start with Joe, Mr. Joe Schwartz, virtually Tori, Torii on Twitch. What topic did you bring for us to discuss today?
What topic? All right, so I was kind of interested to talk about Anthem, but that's foolish because anyone with worth their salt would be talking about Anthem these days.
I'm worth 2 salts.
You're worth 2 whole salts. I'm worth a pillar of salt. All right, so I just decided to bring some shower thoughts for you. I've had this thought that just it snuck up on me, and I haven't been able to sleep since. And I've just been wondering to myself, why is no one talking about a Def Jam revival? We talked about this earlier, and nobody here knew what Def Jam was. So for everybody listening who does not know what Def Jam is, or Def Jam Fight for New York is its official title, it's a hip-hop influenced 3D action video game published by EA, which means EA's got the money to back this up. All right? And they partnered with Def Jam, the rap production company, and it was a fighting game. All right, so you could play as Snoop Dogg, you could play as DMX, as Ludacris, and you would just drop into these matches like you would in Mortal Kombat, and you would beat the crap out of your favorite or not favorite rappers. And I just think now is just such an opportune moment for this, because rap beef to millennials is like WWE drama for everybody else. All right, and I just think there's just way too much money on the line to not be capitalizing on this right now.
So I think part of the issue, as you brought up yourself, was brand recognition.
Reasonable.
We had never heard of Def Jam before.
See?
But now that you explained what it is, and I look at screenshots, I'm like, that sounds like something I'd play a couple of times at a friend's house. Definitely.
Right? A couple of times at a friend's house. That's all I'm asking.
That's a glowing review from Chad Michael Innes.
There you go. You heard it here first.
If they ever do bring back Def Jam, I would like to see, like you said, it'd be cool seeing like all the drama fights, Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly? Was that a big thing recently?
Yes, that was
Okay.
a thing.
So
That was a thing.
I don't listen to rap, sorry. But what I really want to see is them branch out to other music as well. Like bring in Ozzy Osbourne fighting
That would be
Jay-Z.
awesome.
Oh my god.
Even,
Yes.
Let's get Toby Keith in there. Just have some
Toby
like
Keith
fatality
throwing
with him
it
holding
down.
the American flag and drinking a beer.
What if we just make it celebrity deathmatch?
There you go.
I do want
Yeah,
that.
see,
Guys, we
This
might be
is-
on a multi-million-dollar idea right now.
Yep.
well, where this conversation is going is actually, I think, is why it might not exist. This is basically a fighting game involving people in real life. I think there could be some moral
I don't
downsides
understand.
to that.
I mean, yeah. All right.
Nah.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, they did it once. It happened one time.
They did it multiple times, actually. I remember it being on
they
360
do it
and
multiple
PS3
times?
as well. Yeah.
Did they? Oh my
Yeah.
god. See, I don't even know.
It,
I don't even know.
It
Go back to that
sold-
brand recognition. You didn't even know it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
1.76 million copies.
That's not bad.
So yeah, that's
It's not
respectable.
bad. It's not bad.
But they just didn't feel morally right about the money they earned, so they just didn't want to do it anymore. Because that's how corporations
Right.
work. If they don't feel morally
Right.
right about the money they
Yeah.
earned, they won't.
Well, also,
They won't do it.
didn't you say that EA published it back in the day? So, like, if it didn't do great for them back then, like it sounds like it did okay, but if it didn't do amazing, there's no way EA
That's true.
today will bring it around. I mean, they're
Maybe
canceling
that
Star
was-
Wars left and right.
Maybe that was the
God.
deal with Disney. It's like, hey, Disney, we're going to hand over all the Star Wars stuff to EA, but you can't do Def Jam anymore. It's too violent, and we can't have
It's too
an association.
Yeah, we can't have it associated at all. No, yeah.
That's what it is.
Man.
It's got to be
That's what it
family friendly
is.
Star Wars.
That's
Can't
Disney
have
only
50 Cent
Star Wars.
beating up people and not relevant to Star Wars whatsoever, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Whatever.
The theory makes sense,
true
okay? Don't
family
challenge it,
content,
okay?
Anakin killing younglings.
Yes.
What a wholesome discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good target.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Joe, for introducing us to that delightful game,
Hey, now you know. Now
that
you
family-friendly brawler.
Now you know.
What if
The
50
next
Cent
time
was in
it's-
Smash Bros?
See,
What
You're
That would
asking
be
the real
hysterical.
questions here.
somebody tweet it right now.
John, what is your topic that you brought to us?
All right, going back to the Nintendo Direct. So when they were talking about Smash Bros, it was literally, "Hey, we have this 3.0 update coming before April, and also Joker. Want to know what it is? Haha. No, fuck you. We're gonna wait. You're gonna wait." So I wanted to get some predictions on what you guys think is gonna come in that update.
So 3.0 update coming before the end of April.
hmm
We know it's going to include Joker.
Maybe it could be completely separate things. Like one could be like
Shit.
the second week of April. The other
You're
could
right.
be like a day before the end of April.
Let's
I have something I
Quite honestly,
want
what's probably
to
gonna be.
happen
go.
in Smash Bros. Because I am very upset with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Because I bought it for one reason and one reason only, that's to play online with my two brothers in Texas. But because they live together and they're playing off of one Switch, I cannot play with both of them simultaneously, even if I'm in a battle arena without other people. It is impossible.
I thought there
So you're
was a
saying
way
that's
that
coming
two
to
people
Nintendo
could play
3.0?
on a Switch online.
Not against me, I guess. When you're matchmaking friends,
Is
we
it only
cannot
in
make it
the
work.
quick search then? Maybe.
Well, how it works is you join multiplayer, and I haven't done anything since it first came out, the first few weeks. So maybe this has changed to 2.0. But when you go into multiplayer, it's single only. There's no option to say two player
Okay.
at all. So it's a single player only. So once you get into the battle arena, that's it. It's just you and that other person that have joined the arena. And this is my next part that's frustrating, is that I also cannot add CPUs to fight against me and my brother, or alongside me and my brother, because now it just turned the battles into one-on-one battles between me and my brother. And that's the worst way to play Smash Bros. Is one-on-one. It's horrible. If he gets a trophy and then happens to also get like a Pokemon ball that gets thrown out, I'm done. And it's just not fun for the next 5 minutes while I'm getting
And you're
destroyed.
humiliated because he's 7.
Exactly. Exactly. I also suck at Smash Bros. To begin with. So there's like no skill in my part, to be totally frank. But it's just a huge letdown. I get why you wouldn't have two players going into matchmaking online because you don't know the random second person who's there to make matchmaking work well. But if I'm just playing against my own friends, that doesn't matter. And it really bothers me. It really bothers me. So there's that. That's my rant. I'm very upset by it.
Some revamp to the online.
Yeah.
I want to revamp the online, yeah. I want to be able to play with multiple people off the same console online. That's the one thing I want. I would actually play Smash Bros. Then. I don't play it at all for that specific reason.
I think the online is definitely the biggest update that they need to do, because that's like the biggest selling point of it. Like, everyone knows
absolutely
Smash is amazing to play, but I've got friends in other states as well that I'm just like, okay, I'll make a room. Well, it takes them forever to get in there. Then we finally get in there. We have to wait for a couple other people because I set it as a team battle with 4 people, and and then you get in, and I haven't noticed it lately, but at the beginning you would hit these points where the screen would just freeze for like 30 seconds with the circle in the bottom just loading it. So the online was definitely the biggest letdown for me. I remember watching Tim Geddes talk about it, and he was like, he could see like different modes being brought in, like a home run and all that. I think that would be awesome as well. But the biggest update I think it needs is improvements to the online.
Do you want to think would make it really simple and obvious, honestly? Have the UI for online when you're playing with your friends, not even just matchmaking random people, just your friends. Have it look just like the multiplayer screen when everyone's choosing their character on the huge grid. Just make it look like that. And when you hit the plus button on the bottom to add in a new person, that's like inviting a friend in.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It'd be so simple. It'd work. And that's how I think about playing multiplayer Smash Bros. With my friends all around a GameCube playing together. Why doesn't it work that way online?
Because it's Nintendo and it's online.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're babies still when it comes to online, you guys. You got to give them some time.
No, it's 2019. They've had time.
They've had plenty of time.
What I want, I don't think this is plausible, but I think back to the original N64 version, and this might have been in Melee, but I didn't play that much. I really liked Break the Targets, but I liked the N64 version because every single Break the Targets level was specific to that character and their moveset. And I would love to see that return, but I only want it to return if there are like meaningful rewards, because I don't give a shit about spirits. I don't want to like, oh, you broke the targets all with Pikachu. Great, you get the spirit you're never going to use. So like in the N64 version, that was how you unlocked characters, some of them. It was like, oh, if you beat this character's thing, you unlock Luigi. So I don't think it's going to happen. One, because they would have to make 70 whatever individual Break the Targets levels. But that's what I want.
Well, you never know. They did make 73, is it, different classic runs. So
You're true. I think that's it, guys.
Yeah, we're all dead.
We're all dead.
We've all died.
Well, thank you guys for letting us take a seat and be humble. That felt really great for us.
Oh, good. It was great for me, too.
Good. I'm glad we could be there for you.
Best I ever had.
I'm going to move on to our final segment called Game On Game Show, where we play a game on our game show called Game On, the gaming show on our game show. Let's game on. This time, surprise, it's video game Would You Rather, as it almost always is. I've got 5 Would You Rather scenarios, ranging from really tame to kind of weird as usual, and we just kind of discuss what our answers would be. Here we go. Number 1. Would you rather play Fire Emblem for 3 hours or get a colonoscopy? This is a callback to last week.
Chad, why are you obsessed with colonoscopies?
I just really hate Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem.
All right.
I mean, I'll take Fire Emblem because I like Fire Emblem, and a colonoscopy sounds like a fucking colonoscopy. It sounds horrible.
But you get so many funny farts afterwards. Fire Emblem, you just have to fucking play Fire Emblem.
I've never played either, I've never experienced either, but I've
You've never played colonoscopy?
Never played it. I gotta go with Fire Emblem here.
I'm sure getting a colonoscopy is no fun, but
I've tried to play, but let me read this. I have tried to play Fire Emblem for at least 1 hour. And honestly, my colon health would probably it's definitely more of a concern at this point. So I'm
Right?
gonna go colonoscopy.
Right?
You heard it here first.
Could you imagine tripling that playtime for Fire Emblem?
No,
That'd be
no, we
awful.
cannot. There is no.
Yeah, colonoscopy is the way to go, especially if you have a friend filming the post farts.
Eventually,
Absolutely.
Chad's going to find a game called Colonoscopy Simulator. And he's going to say, hey, what would you rather do? Colonoscopy Simulator or a colonoscopy?
Yeah,
That's going to happen
we'll find out one day.
We'll find out.
Number 2, would you rather play a beautiful action game like God of War, but it only has wireframe character models? Or play a beautiful
sounds
2D
awesome.
Metroidvania like Hollow Knight, where the world is just sketches on graph paper?
Oh,
I
that's
like
tough.
both of those.
Yeah. I'm going to take the sketches on graph paper because I think you can do some really cool gameplay mechanics with that. Like your abilities are drawing something to progress.
Ooh, that could be dope.
Yeah. I'm going to take that one.
When you mention the like hand drawn thing, I only think of Cuphead and how much I love that game. So
God, Cuphead is so good.
Actually, it's a good point to make. Are you talking more of a Cuphead drawn or like the, what was the, that drawing shooter from David Jaffe?
Drawn to Death?
Drawn to Death, yeah. Is it like that? Like it looks like it's
Yeah,
on
probably more
paper?
like that.
Okay.
I gotta go with
Yeah, I
the
think that's what
3D
I would
one.
do. 3D wireframe character
Yeah.
models?
Yeah.
I just think it would be funny. Just
They should at least just unlock it as, like in Uncharted, how you can play with like Fat Drake or like really Crazy World or whatever, like Sumi or so. They should just unlock that as an option.
it's just like Wire, Little Mac, and Punch Out, but Kratos. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
You
I'm
can
gonna
combine
agree
it
with
too
John.
with Tron and make like a Tron game.
No, you
Yeah.
can't do that. That's not part of the would you rather.
It would work though.
No.
It would work. With the wireframes, it totally would work.
No. Joe, what's yours?
I'm gonna have to agree with John. I think the wireframes would just be kind of interesting to play as in like a 3D setting like that.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be fun for me. One of my favorite things is just kind of like messing with graphics in games, trying to clip through walls and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think just playing around with a wireframe might entertain me for hours.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at your answer. I just read the next one.
Oh. All right, let's hear it.
Number 3. Would you rather? Would you rather every?
Chad, calm down. It's okay. Breathe.
Would you rather every
breaths.
time you opened your mouth, your tongue reflexively shot out like Yoshi's and grabbed whatever's in front of you and you ate it? Or every time you ate gluten, you shit your pants?
Is that really a question? It's got to be the Yoshi thing, right?
Yeah, I know exactly. Absolutely. 100% the Yoshi thing.
Really?
There,
Now think about this.
100%.
When we did the Kirby thing where you open your mouth and suck in whatever's in front of you, that includes if you're holding your baby in your arms.
Be
If you're
smart.
holding your baby in front of you and you open your mouth,
You get
eat
his baby
it.
powers.
Oh, shit.
But I also eat a lot more gluten than I hold babies. So,
Fair. Very fair.
But if you choose the gluten route, then I judge you hardcore.
We can't have that.
Oh, man. You'd have to learn to communicate non-verbally with Yoshi.
Right. Sign language.
Yeah.
I mean, there are easy workarounds here. And then you also have an incredibly useful tongue.
Hey.
Indeed. Indeed.
Hey, baby.
Great. I think we all agree on Yoshi. Number 4. Would you rather get a Sackboy tattoo on your ball sack or a Majora's Mask moon tattoo on your whole butt?
I'm going
moon.
to take the moon butt tattoo just because that sounds less painful by a lot.
And that way I could just take my pants off and then, like, get on something and, like, jump down to someone so it's, like, the whole moon, like, coming down and everything. That sounds amazing. I gotta go with
Also,
that.
you can moon people with a literal moon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could moon people
A scary
with a
moon
little
at that.
But picture this. You have a zipper on your nutsack.
Is that something
Yeah?
I want?
No, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
That does not sound great at all. Like, I've never been like, I want to open my ball sack. I've never once.
It wouldn't be a real one, Holden. It's a tattoo.
Okay. The other element of the moon is that when you get to go to the bathroom, you can just text people 3 days remaining.
Dawn of the final day.
You dawn on the
Perfect.
final day.
All right. I think I agree with that one. Good. Last one. Would you rather play Animal Crossing or drink cyanide? Now, keep in mind, cyanide does not always end in death.
Oh, okay.
Women used to drink it a long time ago to make their skin look really pale so that they looked more beautiful and appealing to people.
Oh my god, that's fucked up.
True
Like a
story.
corpse. I like that.
So you could drink cyanide and not die, or you could fucking play Animal Crossing.
I'll take Animal Crossing. My skin's already very beautiful. I don't need
Oh,
I don't need
man.
cyanide to help me out.
I'm about as pale as I can get, so I played a little bit of New Leaf on my daughter's 3DS with her, and that seemed okay. It wasn't great, but I'll take it.
Don't open your mouth in front of your daughter.
I feel like drinking cyanide might be more entertaining than
Oh,
farming
God.
and pretending I'm having fun. I just don't
Pretending
know.
I'm having fun.
I feel like I could do a couple shots of cyanide and go do something worth my time, or I could go count my acorns.
Bring in a whole new meaning to cyanide and happiness.
There you go.
I would drink all the cyanide you guys didn't drink, and I would drink it all at once and just end it. I can't stand Animal Crossing, and I've never even tried it.
You haven't even tried it? I mean, you at least need to try it.
No, I can
It's just
attest.
like so
Chad would
dry,
hate that game. There's just no way he would like it.
Oh, thank you for playing Video Game Would You Rather on Game Show. That wraps that segment up and wraps up our podcast for the night. Thanks again, gentlemen, for joining us. I'm going to give you another opportunity to plug whatever the hell you wanted, starting with John. Go.
On Twitter, I am at RevXShadows. You can DM me there for some writing assignments or something. I do a lot of freelance writing. Or if you want to get together, do a collaborative thing on YouTube, you can always find me on YouTube. Also, just RevXShadows.
Perfect. Awesome. Joe, go.
Fantastic. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter under Virtually Tori. That's Torii. If you need a battle buddy to sling lead at any moment in the day, you can find me, hit me in my DMs, or just send me a pigeon.
Nice. Holden, give us your progress report from your midterms at school.
There's no progress report yet, but it's all A's so far.
Are you scientist yet?
Come back when you are doctor.
Oh, you guys, thank you for spending my birthday with me. Enjoy the rest of your day or night or wherever the hell you're headed. And here's our usual sign off. You're grounded.
Oh, man.